If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Heal the world, make it a better place. A star can never die. It just turns into a smile and melts back into the cosmic music, the dance of life. Hope is such a beautiful word, but it often seems very fragile. Life is still being needlessly hurt and destroyed. There are two kinds of music. One comes from the strings of a guitar, the other from the strings of the heart. I must endure, for the world, for the children. In a world filled with hate, we must still dare to hope. In a world filled with anger, we must still dare to comfort. In a world filled with despair, we must still dare to dream. And in a world filled with distrust, we must still dare to believe. You never know how long you have with someone, so don't forget to say I love you while you can. To give someone a piece of your heart is worth more than all the wealth in the world. Today, I feel more betrayed than perhaps ever before that someone who had got to know my children, my staff, and me, whom I let into my heart and told the truth, could then sacrifice the trust one placed in him and produce this terrible and unfair program. My idea of magic doesn't have much to do with stage tricks and illusions. The whole world abounds in magic. I think Broadway is good for sharpening your skills. It's the best for really reaching the zenith of your talent. You go so far and reach the peak of it and you say, maybe this is the best performance I can do. I feel guilty just sitting around when I know I can be doing something. I just don't like being on a lot of different things or being everywhere because I get kind of embarrassed. I try to be kind and generous and to give to people and to do what I think God wants me to do. Whatever you see me do is spontaneous reactions on stage. It's nothing planned. It's nothing that I got in the room and tried to think of hard. It just happens through feeling. When people leave my show, I want them to say, I've never seen anything like that in my life. It's amazing. He's the greatest entertainer in the world. The most conspicuous thing about suffering is, as W.H. Auden once observed, its banality. The day is green, the sun is singing, someone is eating, or opening a window, the torturous horse is scratching its innocent behind on a tree, and in a mere second someone we love is dead. Wherever you go, man-made things are man-made, but you've got to get out and see God's beauty of the world. On the brilliance of James Brown's dancing and the frustrations of bad camera work on dancers, Sayers, I think James Brown is a genius. When he's with the famous Flames, unbelievable. I used to watch him on television and I used to get angry at the cameraman because whenever he would really start to dance they would be on a close-up so I couldn't see his feet. I'd shout, show him, so I could watch and learn. Life songs of ages, throbbing in my blood, have danced the rhythm of the tide and flood. Because I wanted to have a place that I could create everything that I never had as a child. So, you see rides. You see animals. There's a movie theater. What I enjoy most about performing is making people happy. Just to make a person smile means more to me than anything. Me and Janet really are two different people. The magic, the wonder, the mystery, and the innocence of a child's heart are the seeds of creativity that will heal the world. The press has made up so much god-awful, horrifying stories, it has made me realize the more often you hear a lie, you begin to believe it. How many victims must that be? Slaughtered in vain across the land, and how many struggles must that be? Before we choose to live the prophet's plan, everybody sing every day, create your history, every path you take you're leaving your legacy, every soldier dies in his glory, every legend tells of conquest and liberty. Grinning, ducking my head for balance, I start to spin wildly as I can. That is my favorite dance, because it contains a secret. The faster I twirl, the more I am still inside. My dance is all motion without, all silence within. As much as I love to make music, it's the unheard music that never dies. And silence is my real dance, though it never moves. It stands aside, my choreographer of grace, and blesses each finger and toe. I am bewildered at the length to which people will go to portray me so negatively. When you have seen the things I have seen and traveled all over the world, you would not be honest to yourself and the world too. They didn't trademark everything back then. Now someone farts and they put a TM after it. Even Miller Lite says a fine Pilsner beer on the label. It is a crime. What one wishes is to be touched by truth and to be able to interpret that truth so that one may use what one is feeling and experiencing, be it despair or joy, in a way that will add meaning to one's life and will hopefully touch others as well. People write negative things because they feel that's what sells. Good news to them doesn't sell. Entertainment is about taking people away from the regular order of things when there is some chaos and pain and stress. I'm a Black American. I am proud of my race. I am proud of who I am. I have a lot of pride and dignity. Children are loving. They don't gossip. They don't complain. They're just open-hearted. They're ready for you. They don't judge. They don't see things by way of color. They're very childlike. That's the problem with adults. They lose that childlike quality. They did it to try and belittle me, to try and to take away my pride. But I went through the whole system with them. And at the end, I wanted the public to know that I was okay, even though I was hurting. With 2 children of my own, I know what it means to balance the demands of family and career, and let's not even talk about finding a date for myself. Rabbi Shmuley keeps telling me he'll find me the perfect woman. My response is, as long as she's not a journalist. I love John Travolta, who came off that Cotter show. Nobody knew he could dance or do all of those things. He is like boom. Before he knew it, he was the next big Brando or something. When I step out on stage in front of thousands of people, I don't feel that I'm being brave. It can take much more courage to express true feelings to one person. In spite of the risks, the courage to be honest and intimate opens the way to self-discovery. It offers what we all want, the promise of love. God created animals. And they're loving, they're beautiful. I feel the way Jane Goodall does, or any of those naturalists. I don't find my interest in animals weird or strange at all. There's a whole psychological reason for those cartoons about good against evil. We have Superman and all those other hero people so that we can go out into life and try to be something. I've got most of Disney's animated movies on videotapes, and when we watch them, oh, I could just eat it. Jimmy Cricket, Pinocchio, Mickey Mouse, these are world-known characters. Some of the greatest political figures have come to the United States to meet them. I hate labels because it should be just music. I don't see anything wrong with disco. Call it anything. It's music. All over the walls of my room are pictures of Peter Pan. I've read everything that Barry wrote. I totally identify with Peter Pan, the lost boy from Never Never Land. To clink glasses of a freshly made, seasonal beer, preferably in a pub or garden, with friends and perhaps new acquaintances, is a ritual that makes every participant feel good. We may not rationalize this at the time, but it gives us a sense of place in our common community and our time in the tides of life on earth. This is a way to value beer and treat it with respect. I wake up from dreams and go, wow, put this down on paper. The whole thing is strange. You hear the words, everything is right there in front of your face. Fred Astaire told me things I will never forget. Gene Kelly also said he liked my dancing. It was a fantastic experience because I felt I had been inducted into an informal fraternity of dancers, and I felt so honored because these were the people I most admired in the world. Children show me in their playful smiles the divine in everyone. This simple goodness shines straight from their hearts and only asks to be loved. There were times when I had great times with my brothers, pillow fights and things, but I used to always cry from loneliness. Yeah, wacko jacko. Where'd that come from? Some English tabloid. I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that when you do that to me, it's not nice. I will say again that I have never and would never harm a child. It sickens me that people have written untrue things about me. When the body breaks down and you start to wrinkle, I think it's so bad. She's saying that's okay. Hey baby, do what you want, I'll be your night-loving thing, I'll be the freak you can taunt, and I don't care what you say, I want to go too far, I'll be your everything if you make me a star. Dirty Diana, look at how many great actors or entertainers have been lost to the world because they did a performance one night and that was it. With film, you capture that, it's shown all over the world, and it's there forever. I am always writing a potpourri of music. I want to give the world escapism through the wonder of great music and to reach the masses. I am scared of my father to this day. My father walked in the room, and God knows I am telling the truth, I have fainted in his presence many times. I have fainted once, to be honest. I have thrown up in his presence because when he comes in the room and this aura comes and my stomach starts hurting and I know I am in trouble. Together we can make a change of the world. Together we can help to stop racism. Together we can help to stop prejudice. We can help the world live without fear. It's our only hope. Without hope we are lost. It's a complete lie. Why do people buy these papers? It's not the truth, I'm here to say. You know, don't judge a person, do not pass judgment, unless you have talked to them one-on-one. I don't care what the story is, do not judge them because it is a lie. It's a complete lie. Why do people buy these papers? It's not the truth, I'm here to say. You know, don't judge a person, do not pass judgment, unless you have talked to them one-on-one. I don't care what the story is, do not judge them because it is a lie. I believe in God, I gain strength from God. I believe in Jehovah, God, very much. I believe in God and love God. I remember one time we were getting ready to go to South America and everything was packed up and in the car ready to go, and I hid and I was crying because I really did not want to go. I wanted to play. I did not want to go. I wake up from dreams and go, wow, put this down on paper. The whole thing is strange. You hear the words, everything is right there in front of your face. I am always writing a potpourri of music. I want to give the world escapism through the wonder of great music and to reach the masses. And I remember going to the record studio and there was a park across the street and I'd see all the children playing and I would cry because it would make me sad that I would have to work instead. I love the whole world of dance because dancing is really the emotions through bodily movement. And however you feel, you just bring out the inner feeling through your mood. People don't think about the importance of it. Deep inside, I feel that this world we live in is really a big, huge, monumental symphonic orchestra. I believe that in its primordial form, all of creation is sound and that it's not just random sound, that it's music. Martin Bashir persuaded me to trust him, that his would be an honest and fair portrayal of my life, and told me that he was the man that turned Diana's life around. I love to read. I wish I could advise more people to read. There's a whole new world in books. If you can't afford to travel, you travel mentally through reading. You can see anything and go any place you want to in reading. When I was small, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just sang and it came out sounding pretty good. I just do it and it happens. Nothing quenches the thirst like a wheat beer or sharpens the appetite like an India Pale Ale. Nothing goes as well with seafood as a dry porter or stout, or accompanies chocolate like an imperial stout. Nothing soothes like a barley wine. These are just a few of the specialty styles of beer. A musician knows hit material. It has to feel right. Everything has to feel in place. It fulfills you and it makes you feel good. You know it when you hear it. Sensationalism seems to sell more than wonderful positive news. Music is the soundtrack to life. It plays the melody of our being. It's easy to say I love you with your mouth. But I like when people say I love you with their heart. Live, be, move, rejoice, you are alive. Sometimes when you're treated unfairly, it makes you stronger and more determined. I admire that kind of strength. People who have it take a stand and put their blood and soul into what they believe. I want to always be youthful and have the energy to run around and play hide and seek, which is one of my favorite games. You want what you create to live, and I give my all in my work because I want it to live. I love great music. It has no color. It has no boundaries. Honor your parents by not judging them. Give them the benefit of doubt. No matter what age you are, if you have it and you know it, then people should listen to you. Once at a record store in San Francisco, over 1,000 kids showed up. They pushed forward and broke a window. A big piece of glass fell on top of this girl. And the girl's throat was slit. She just got slit. And I remember there was blood everywhere. Oh God, so much blood. And she grabbed her throat and was bleeding, and everyone just ignored her. Why? Because I was there and they wanted to grab at me and get my autograph. I wonder whatever happened to that girl. Once at a record store in San Francisco, over 1,000 kids showed up. They pushed forward and broke a window. A big piece of glass fell on top of this girl. And the girl's throat was slit. She just got slit. And I remember there was blood everywhere. Oh God, so much blood. And she grabbed her throat and was bleeding, and everyone just ignored her. Why? Because I was there and they wanted to grab at me and get my autograph. I wonder whatever happened to that girl. Needless to say, I love the interaction between the sexes. It is a natural part of life, and I love women. I just think that when sex is used as a form of blackmail or power, it's a repugnant use of one of God's gifts. Well, Brooke, I've always liked her, and when I was little I used to stay with Diana Ross. Me and my brother stayed with her for years, and I never said, but I always had a crush on her. There are people that I am in love with, totally in love with them. I would die for them. I love Michelangelo. I love Charlie Chaplin with all my heart. I love Walt Disney. These are the people I am nuts over. These are my people. I love the great ones. Elizabeth Taylor is gorgeous, beautiful, and she still is today. I'm crazy about her. God has always been in my heart and a part of my life and my family's lives. It is through him that we draw our strength. A lot of people misunderstand me. That's because they don't know me at all. I love realism. I don't like plastics. Deep down inside, we're all the same. Beer may cause you to digress and lead a happier life. In their innocence, very young children know themselves to be light and love. If we will allow them, they can teach us to see ourselves the same way. Love transcends international boundaries. It heals the wounds of racial hatred, prejudice, bigotry, and ignorance. There was Michael Jackson, the king of pop, an aloof superstar who had everything and needed no one. And Michael Jackson, the shy kid under the mask, who lacked even a single real friend. I don't like pop music. James Brown, Ray Charles, Jackie Wilson, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard, I think they had strong influences on a lot of people, because these were the guys who really got rock and roll going. I like to start with the origin of things, because once it gets along it changes. It's so interesting to see how it really was in the beginning. James Brown, Ray Charles, Jackie Wilson, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard, I think they had strong influences on a lot of people, because these were the guys who really got rock and roll going. I like to start with the origin of things, because once it gets along it changes. It's so interesting to see how it really was in the beginning. On many occasions when I am dancing, I've felt touched by something sacred. In those moments, I felt my spirit soar and become one with everything that exists. I'm a lover, not a fighter. If you're satisfied with everything, you're just going to stay at one level and the world will move ahead. I would just go in my room and just scream out of anger because I didn't understand how a person could be so vicious and mean. I've been an ambassador of goodwill all over the world, spreading this message. Did we do heal the world, treaty of all nations, circling this huge globe? What I don't understand is just singing about sex and I want to get in a hot tub with you, baby, and rub you all over, but I get battered in the press as the weirdo. Sometimes the heart is so heavy that we turn away from it and forget that its throbbing is the wisest message of life, a wordless message that says, live, be, move, rejoice, you are alive. Without the heart's wise rhythm, we could not exist. We look high and low for God, but somehow He's not there. So we blame Him and tell ourselves that He must have forgotten us. Or else we decide that He left us long ago, if He was ever around. How strange, the little fish said, to miss what is everywhere. Very strange, the old whale agreed. Doesn't it remind you of fish who say they're thirsty? That's what's great about show business. It's escapism. You pay your $5 to get in and sit there and you're in another world. Forget about the problems in the world. It's wonderful. My goal in life is to give to the world what I was lucky to receive, the ecstasy of divine union through my music and my dance. It's all for love. Love. I wouldn't say I was sexy, but I guess that's fine if that's what they say. I like that in concert. That's neat. I think secretly and privately there is a destiny for me, and just for me to stay on that track and follow it. I really believe and feel I am here for a reason, and that's my job, to perform for the people, and if they accept it, that I am rewarded. I think secretly and privately there is a destiny for me, and just for me to stay on that track and follow it. I really believe and feel I am here for a reason, and that's my job, to perform for the people, and if they accept it, that I am rewarded. So popular is beer, the world's best-selling alcoholic drink, that it is often taken for granted. Yet scientific analysis shows that a glass of beer has within it as many aromas and flavors as fine wine. Not everyone understands this, but an increasing number of people do. Follow the golden rule. Be kind to your neighbors, love them as much as you would love yourself, do unto others. The distortion of the truth bothers me. All the forms of popular music, from jazz to hip-hop, to bebop, to soul. You talk about different dances, from the catwalk, to the jitterbug, to the Charleston, to break dancing. All these are forms of black dancing. What would be without a song, without a dance, and joy, and laughter, and music? The earth we share is not just a rock tossed through space, but a living, nurturing being. She cares for us, she deserves our care in return. I'm not trying to be philosophical, but I really think it's my job to help children. And I don't care if people laugh. I do disguises for different reasons. I like to study people, be like the fly on the wall. Even if it's two old ladies sitting on a bench or some kids on a swing. Because I don't know what it's like to fit in an everyday life situation. One of the best moments is right here. Right here. It's right in the middle of the show, and it's my birthday, and I'm thousands of miles away from my family. When they surprised me with the full marching band, and then they brought out this huge, beautiful birthday cake, I realized that I've got family all over the world. Everywhere I go, because my fans really show me the love, and I love them just as much. I deserve a fair trial, like every other American citizen. A large amount of ugly, malicious misinformation has been released to the media about me. I've been in the entertainment industry since I was 6 years old. As Charles Dickens says, it's been the best of times, the worst of times. But I would not change my career. While some have made deliberate attempts to hurt me, I take it in stride, because I have a loving family, a strong faith, and wonderful friends and fans who have, and continue, to support me. If you want